I'm walking on that rainbow to the pot of gold. The young brother always working, hungry for more ascension, attention, ascension, ascension.
All right. Welcome to Unplugged Season 2, Episode 16. This is the season finale. And in case you're confused as to who this person is, this is the case of an interviewer interviewing another interviewer. It's
Yes.
it's like Inception, but for interviews. It's a crossover. So with me, I have a podcast host for the Just Kidding podcast. I have someone who also sits down with artists and creatives and just a content creator in general, a creative, and creatives are who we like on these type of platforms. I have the one and only Chaxy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I hope you are
Finally.
well. Finally,
I'm well,
finally,
man.
finally.
I'm well. I'm healthy. I'm grateful. So yeah, I'm well for sure. Yourself?
I'm good, man. Like we say finally because like we've been planning this since before the global situation. So when the global situation
Yes.
happened, things just went south for a minute, but at least we're able to bring back things. And like we
Yes.
said before this episode, thank God for technology because if there wasn't technology, interviews wouldn't be happening. Like
COVID. Can you imagine if COVID happened before, like in the 90s, early 90s, before social media, literally?
different world.
Oh
Different
my
world.
gosh.
Different world.
Yeah.
But yo, it's good to see you. So I want to start with like what first of all, Upside Digital Networks,
Yes.
the channel on YouTube.
Yes.
Um, was it just your solo idea to come up with it, or like what was the purpose behind it? Like you can take us briefly through that.
So 2015, I mean, after some push from some of my friends, I decided to join radio in uni. I mean, because I was in uni, I had gotten to this point where I decided I was going to opt out of school, and then I was looking for something to do within that semester.
Yeah.
I think it started to become clear that that was going to be like my last semester in uni. So I got into radio in uni. That is between around April till October. By October, I was tired of being on radio. That became such a routine for me. Then I was always just getting in trouble for some things I'd say on air. There was a lot of restrictions.
on
There was
campus
a lot
on
of
campus radio, yeah, I'd imagine there's restrictions.
yeah, there is. I mean,
Yeah.
same to any other like mainstream platform.
Yeah.
And even I felt censored a lot, even in terms of being told you can't talk about this, or this is how far you can go with this, such things. So I decided to leave in October, and then after I left, I realized I had gotten used to having an outlet to express myself. And that's how the idea of Just Kidding happened. So when I joined radio, Erosh was leaving the same station. So that's how I met Erosh. So I told him there's this thing I've been seeing online called a podcast. It's like an online radio. So that's how Just Kidding happened. But then I almost transitioned into mainstream radio. I had maybe two offers that maybe I may not mention now. And then when we started the negotiations and just trying to discuss exactly what my role was going to be and how exactly I was coming in, I realized I didn't want to do mainstream completely. So that's how Upside came about. I decided to create a platform.
Is it because of the restrictions again? Is it because like you felt you wanted to do something outside of like mainstream?
A bunch of things. Of course, I it didn't sit very well with me. The fact that you'd literally be told, listen, this is the direction the station is headed, so this is how exactly everything has to be structured.
Conform.
Yeah, so I felt that I was going to one at that point I really didn't know what I wanted to begin with. So then I got myself into this spot where I felt I could easily get lost in a lot of things. Then I had a lot of people speaking in my ears, telling me things, do this, check this, do that. So I decided just leave, just leave, focus on my grind, and then see where this leads. So at some point, that's where Upside came about, because I realized everything is moving digital. So I needed to create a platform that could be like a media house, but 100% digital. And that could be run by myself and some of my friends that I think adopt. So now you may see only maybe shows that I've produced on the platform.
Yeah.
But that's just like the first initial step, because I have ideas that I want to do. Could use that I could use that to start the platform, keep the platform running, and then eventually start working on content for other people. So like start buying content and all that. Yeah. So it's just a media house that is 100% digital.
That's cool.
Did I answer you?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, yeah. So that's why all the shows you've seen I've done so far are all on that platform. And there's new material that is coming out soon as well. Yeah.
Okay. Was there a podcast at that time, really? Because I think I heard of you guys, but I don't know whether there was another platform. Because personally, for me, I had an initial idea of a podcast like around 2017, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, I don't see a lot of podcasts in Kenya. So I I'm not sure. Maybe you might have an idea.
Crazy thing is, I do not remember a podcast in Kenya before Just Kidding. I really don't, because I knew there were a few online radios, but there were radios like proper radios online. Like there was an Unverified radio at the time.
Actually, Unverified is the only online one I remember
at the time, right?
Yeah.
So aside Unverified, which was a radio, I do not remember a single Kenyan podcast before Just Kidding. For sure. Yeah. Not till now.
That's a cool fact. That's a cool fact to have.
Never thought about it. Never thought about it until now. Actually, that I don't know a single podcast before. Just kidding.
So when you started Just Kidding, did you want it to just be like general talk, or you wanted to have guests, or what was your idea with it?
I had no idea what I wanted with Just Kidding. I just wanted an outlet that I could express myself. So the initial conversation, when Erosh agreed to come on board, then the initial conversation was, let's just vibe, try some things and see what works. So initially when we started, it was more of just us catching up, but recording it and then uploading it. So that's like the early episodes of Just Kidding. It was more of, how the week was, the things we saw or read or went through. So it was more of just us catching up and vibing. Then we had some guests. We did live shows. Then we got to this point we didn't want to have guests anymore.
Yeah.
So then last year, I felt that we had winged it like enough now, and we needed to maybe have some structure. So Erosh and I started having conversations around structuring the show and just now doing it proper. And then, so I think we haven't recorded the podcast. I don't think we've recorded anything this year. Yeah, so we are still at that point where we were discussing what the podcast should look like exactly. Then COVID happened. We decided, let's just take a break, think through this whole thing. So we haven't really spoken much about the podcast lately, but I think when it comes, it's gonna come back at some point for sure.
Yeah.
It's gonna come back now with like format or whatever. But if you like browse through different episodes, they are all over the place.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because like now that podcasts have started to become a thing in Kenya,
Yes.
it's just about authenticity, according to me.
Okay. But is this bright? Am I dark?
No, this is okay. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Because I just realized there's like a lot of lights here that are off, so I thought maybe I'm dark. But
No,
if you can see,
it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
Easy. Sorry. Yes.
Like for me, it's about authenticity. Like if you're able to seem authentic, look authentic,
Yeah.
like just have a conversation. So you shouldn't like me if I'm looking at just kidding from an outsider's perspective, and I'm seeing you guys just vibing, you're talking, regular conversation. It's not a bad thing. You just it's like you said. It's just looking for a structure, and then now figuring out how to go from there and make it like even a bigger platform than what it was when it started.
Yeah. I think. I agree with you 100%. And even when it comes back, I don't think it's going to be like, by structure. It's not going to be like formatted and all that, or edit. It's still going to be raw. But the thing about our podcast is the way we record it is the way we upload it. It's 100% uncensored. It's raw. So that's still going to come back. I think where maybe I would say what has taken a toll on the show is probably just a bit of creative differences, because Erosh has a different way that he would like the show to be, which is different from what my idea of the show was. So we are trying to find a middle ground, some compromise. It's just that like lately we haven't really had those discussions, but Erosh and I are bros, man.
Would you want it to be something that is culture focused, like focused on the Kenyan hip hop scene or the music scene in general, or something different?
I would want it to be more centered on the media and arts. Yeah. That's exactly what I would want to see on the show. Yeah, but Erosh has a different opinion on the same. So
that's fair.
We'll find something that works. We will, and then the show will come back.
All right. What was your inspiration behind Loud?
So Loud. About when was this? I think 2016. King Kaka, or who knows Rabbit. So yeah, approached me. I think I'd already left radio. So he had this idea of a show that he wanted me to do, and the show was just basically talking about different things around showbiz in Kenya. So the show was called Kwa Counter. We did 4 episodes, which are still on his YouTube.
Yeah.
So it was me and a lady called Sue, and what we would do is we would just go to different bars and talk. You know the way guys just meet up for drinks and then you talk.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then we'd edit that down to like 10 minutes. So we did 4 episodes, and then we just didn't do any other episodes. Yeah. So I think there's just some things that never worked out, and then we let it slide. Then I think a week after the 3rd episode had dropped, Lit 360 did an exact segment. They introduced an exact segment on their show. Yeah. So because I wanted to do something similar.
Yeah.
So, but then now there was a show on national TV that had the exact format of what I was doing. So I was trying to see how I could still do something at the bar counter, but I didn't have a format for it. So sometimes in 2018, that's when I wrote the concept for Loud, and then when I didn't know who was going to produce it, I really wanted it to be well produced.
Yeah.
And at the time I also didn't have like the when I tried to do like a rough budget of what that would cost, I realized I didn't have the money to do the show. So last year I decided I was just going to do the show. I was now at least I had money, I could do the show.
Yeah.
And so what I did is I just polished up on the same idea. And if you realize from most of the content that I put out is I'm really, really keen on documenting the people, I would say, the creatives who are in the same maybe generation that I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah.
The young guys who are just So I wanted Loud to be centered 100% around creatives and business people whose businesses support creatives directly. So that's why there's episodes where it's not just musicians. We didn't finish shooting it because COVID happened when I was literally still producing the show. So it's gonna come back soon. But yeah, you're going to see more actors. You're going to see.
But this year has ruined a lot. This year has ruined a lot.
Yeah, Kwanzaa, Loud was on a roll by the time we had to stop producing. But yeah, so
no, but which is interesting because like your format is unique, and it was good content to like watch because you'd even have the guests like making like the cocktails or whatever drink that they know. But let me ask a question on that. Was it the drinks that they knew how to make, or it was something that was
No. I handpicked every single cocktail that they made. I was looking at, because I know they're not professional bartenders, and they actually have to make 2 cocktails in the show, one for myself and one for them. So I picked very simple cocktail recipes, and then I would send them to the guests prior. So like a week to the recording, you have your recipe, you go through it. Then when you get to Blue Door, which is the location where we record the show, we have like an actual bartender who will tell you exactly what needs to be done. And then now we just leave you to fumble on the show.
Yeah, because I thought it was them, like, they have a recipe in mind and they can make it. So
I gave them all the recipes.
That's good.
I gave them all the recipes, bro.
That's good. That's good. So putting people on the spotlight.
Exactly. Multitasking. Make a cocktail and you've never ever seen the tools that I used to make cocktails and still answer questions there. So that was the idea.
That's cool. So you were doing like a deal with Blue Door, or you had talked to them about it, and
of course.
There.
Yeah, we had a conversation. We signed off 1 season. So we did 9 episodes. That's what is out so far. We have 4 4 episodes to produce as part of the agreement. So we were supposed to have recorded the 4 episodes by now, as soon as they reopened. But then there was some
and I hope it's beneficial to you more than it's beneficial to them, because creatives it needs to be balanced.
It needs to be, but again, it's very, especially when you're still starting off and you're not like a household name. Sometimes sometimes these are really hard conversations to have. They're not like really hard conversations to have, but you don't have people who are very willing to listen to what you have to say, because who the hell are you? You know what I mean? What exactly is it gonna benefit someone in? But I'm happy. One of the guys who really helped to get the deal pulled through is actually a photographer. His name is Naeem. So at least he's young. He's almost my age. So he saw a lot of value in that, and he really pushed. And I'm forever grateful for that. So we have we owe them 4 episodes, which we are going to produce very soon. And then then we see what happens for season 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the most recent piece of content that brought a lot of people to Upside and people to know you is the Scam Cardinale interview.
Yes.
Which is now a different show called In Conversation.
Yes.
So is that going to be the hip hop show, or are you just thinking along the same lines of Loud and
So when I realized, so one, I have a new show that should have dropped already but hasn't dropped because of some unavoidable circumstances. But I've recorded like 3 episodes already. I'm recording some more, but I think next week the trailer is gonna be out, and then the other week we'll roll out the first episode.
Yeah.
So when there was the delay in putting out this show, because my expectation was that this show would come out first week of October, and now we're in November. So when that delay happened, I decided, because I'm using the same team to record Loud and the new show.
Yeah.
I mean, already everyone knows exactly how we work. Everyone knows their responsibilities. It just makes it easier for us to produce content.
How big is your crew?
I have like 8 guys. Yeah.
Okay.
My crew is actually like 8 guys. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so when the new show, when there were delays in putting out the new show, I decided to record another show to fill in the gap, because I hadn't put out material in a long time. So that's how In Conversation came about. And In Conversation is not really just going to be musicians. So I think maybe because I have a lot of access to musicians, it's easier for me to to lock down those. But you'll see more people on that show. So ideally, In Conversation is just me speaking to just random people that I think are really dope. Because Loud has a criteria. For me, Loud is really people that I personally believe with are good exports for Kenya.
Yeah.
Whether they're musicians or painters or whatever. But the thing is, they're young people, and then it's an experiment. So Loud, I don't think I've said this before, but the guys who have been on Loud already know, is we're trying to see, because I think the Kenyan industry, entertainment industry, is at a very good point now, and we're just about to see a lot of things happening here. So the experiment for Loud is we want to see what 3 years could mean to someone who is really good in an industry that is not established, but is trying to go somewhere. Yeah. So we will have a recap of those exact conversations, like
people
from
people with a vision, in other words, like they know where they want to go.
Exactly. So in 3 years, we're going to have a recap of those same conversations. But in the meantime, we're actually documenting what these guys are doing and all that. Yeah. So Loud is really an experiment. So anyone else who I really think is dope but doesn't fall in that criteria for Loud, now we'll push them to In Conversation. Because this other new show that is not out, I can't say much about it now, but the people on the show is quote unquote established. They've been in the game for a minute. They've done ABCD. Yes. So the 3 shows are just meant for me to fill in the entire spectrum.
Okay, that's good. That's dope. That's dope. What do you think about like the creative scene at the moment, even the hip hop scene, because you also know plenty of artists. Like, what do you think? What do you think about it without COVID like involved?
Yeah. So before COVID, I had a feeling this was going to be a really big year for Kenya. I think this year just started with a bang.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, we literally left Kilifi, came straight to Blankets in January. Then the week after, there was Folk Fusion. Then there was another gig. Which gig was? There was another gig. Then there was Nairobi R&B. And I'm sure there was like a lot was happening already in January and February.
Yeah.
And to me, it looked like this was going to be a really good year. Guys had put in a lot of work last year, and now a lot of projects were just rolling out. So yeah, then I mean, COVID happened. But what I think about the industry now is, I think we're in a better place at the moment. Of course, there's maybe if we got maybe into specifics, there's a few things that I think could be done better.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with how I see a lot of people willing to work together. I see I see a lot of synergy. I see a lot of support from just within the industry, and to me, I think that's something that we didn't have as much. So I'm sure if we kept the same momentum, if we give this 5 years, we'll be talking about a very different industry.
Yeah.
And I'm happy because with access to information, I think we are exposed to a lot of how other things work in other markets, and we really want to see those things work here.
Yeah.
So I'm happy people are more vocal. When there's a lot of talk about MCSK and paying musicians, I like how that is going. Even it gets silent and all that, but I'm happy because you see a lot of more people talk about it. So
yeah,
I think we are headed in the right direction, but we have to remain on track, support each other, and just push it.
Okay. Who do you listen to in your free time?
Locally?
Could be locally, international.
I listen to but this is music now, right?
Yeah, music.
Yeah, bro, I listen to a lot of music. Let me just do this. Let me open
let me
open my Apple Music. Yeah. Let me tell you what. I recently added. I have a playlist from Thames called Holiday Sounds. I have Kimani Isaac's first single. I have the new EP by Masego, Studying Abroad. Then I have San L. Then I have Prishon. Then I have Femi Kuti. Then I have Protege. This is just on my recent. I have Beyonce. I have YG. I have Kalamoto, Kenyan rapper.
Yeah.
I have Wizkid's new album. I have Jovi Jov's new album.
Yeah.
There's some guys called The Caveman. I have Fali Pupa. I have Dejlof. So it's really all over the place. Makot Jumadi. I have Mbogi Genje. Bro, it's all over the place, yeah. So I listen to a wide range of music. And I think that's something that I think also helps me, or is going to help me even in line of content. Yeah. So
that's good.
A lot. I've recently been listening to a lot of French music, and I love it. I don't understand a single word.
but you just enjoy it. But you just enjoy it.
Yeah. I'm like, this is fire. So yeah. So my music is all over the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's it. I didn't really have any preset script. So
yeah.
But yeah, man. Thank you for doing this. I really do appreciate it. Do you have any upcoming projects?
For having me.
Yeah. Do you have any upcoming projects or anything you're doing?
Yes. So In Conversation is coming back. I think I've just started editing an episode that I recorded with Trio. You know Trio?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we recorded that yesterday. Just gonna edit it after this conversation. So that's coming out. So there's In Conversation is coming out back-to-back episodes.
Yeah.
The new show hopefully will be out in maximum 3 weeks, but I know for sure the trailer should be out next week. Then Loud is definitely coming back. Then there's 2 new shows that should be out in January. I think there's going to be a lot of material. There's going to be a lot of material that is going to come out. Yeah, and I'm excited. I think I'm in a good space to produce shows now. But I think the thing that I'm most excited about is just getting to the point where I can now produce content for other people. And maybe so that's something that I'm exploring at the moment. Yeah, but so basically I think that's what's coming up on with Upside at the moment.
Okay, I'll be looking forward to that content, especially the podcast. I feel like that's that. No, it's important because there's not a lot of podcasts that have, especially here. It's like I have a podcast, but there's not a lot of other podcasts that actually
I've listened
talk.
to your podcast actually.
Yeah, so there's not a lot that actually talk, topics, wide range. So it's good. Any content, I know you have an audience for it. Guys looking forward to it. And Upside is the only way is up, literally.
The upside of life.
Yeah, the upside. Yeah, the upside of life.
Yeah,
But yo,
completely.
I
But-
appreciate you for doing this. We'll
Thank
probably
you, bro.
catch up.
Appreciate it.
We'll probably catch up. Maybe season 4 or 5.
Easy, man.
If
For
this
sure.
series will still be going by then, because ideas always come up. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, I appreciate it, guys. Please
Thank
make
you,
sure
man.
you check
Thank
out.
you for having me.
Make sure you check out the YouTube channel, Upside Digital Networks. Check
Yes,
out all
sir.
the content he has. It's important. Follow him on Instagram. All links will be down below. And thank you for watching. Once again, this is the season finale. We're done. Season 3 is going to come next year. So till then, peace.
Peace out. Thank you, bro.
I'm walking on that rainbow to the pot of gold. The young brother always working, hungry for more. Ascension.